Howdy, Mike McCoy here. Gonna tell a little Thanksgiving story this evening. Being this is Thanksgiving, good time for it, I guess, ain't it? This old guy I worked with back when I was a millwright, he was a pipe fitter. And he was one of the funniest people I ever seen in my life. He could tell a story way better than I can. And everybody called him June. I think his name was actually Junior, but everybody called him June. And he said when he got married, it was right in the middle of the Depression. I think it was like 1936. And said didn't have no money. Said him and his wife's just getting by the best way he could. He was working wherever he could find a job at. And they was renting this place from this old guy. And up pretty late in the summer, that old man gave him a turkey. He said, I'm going to give you this turkey so you'll have something for Thanksgiving. That just tickled June to death. He said he'd take it up there at his house and said he'd feed it table scraps and stuff, and said the turkey stayed right around there. Said it got up late in the fall, around the 1st of November, and he thought, well, I'd better fatten that thing up a little bit. He started feeding it corn. I think that old man gave him a few ears of corn. He started feeding it that turkey. Well, he got to thinking, well, now I'm going to have to kill this thing. And all I've got to kill it with is this hatchet. He said he didn't even own a gun at that time. He said he got to thinking, now I'll start putting corn on this chop block. And every day he'd put a few grains of corn on that chop block, and over there would come that turkey, and he'd eat that corn. And this went on for some time. And he had that turkey trained. When they come out there to the chop block, it'd come. Well, Thanksgiving finally come, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving Day or the day before, probably the day before. And old June went out there, said he had sharpened that hatchet you could shave with. Said it was just razor sharp. Said he throwed a few grains of corn down on that chop block. That turkey is there a pecking away. He just took that hatchet and just pow! Off its head come. He said, I ain't never in my life seen nothing throw a fit the way that thing did. Said it's flopping. Said I just knowed it was gonna break its wings and its legs, stuff was flopping around there. So he just reached and grabbed it. And evidently it was a big turkey, and June wasn't a big man at all. Well, here him and that turkey went right over the bank end of the branch down there. And he said it bound to have took that thing 5 minutes to die. And said there was blood and turkey poop and everything else all over him when he finally come up out of that branch with that dead turkey. Said his wife come running out of the house and thought he'd chopped his head off himself, for he had blood all over him, scared her to death. But he got his turkey. He said that was one of the best Thanksgivings they ever had. But now that turkey, like to kill him, said he was skinned all over. Said that thing had spurs, said they was a digging him with them and everything else. But that's my turkey story. And right during that same time, old June had a motorcycle. I guess he's the only way he had to get around. And the front tire got bad. He couldn't afford a tire for it. And he said he had an old wheelbarrow there. He said he fashioned him some bushings out of hickory, I think, and put that iron wheelbarrow tire on the front of that motorcycle. They said he run it all over the country like they said he'd have to grease it every day. But it's amazing what you can do if you're poor and that's the only way you got to do it, But he worked for years down there where I did. And his wife passed away while I was working there. She had a massive heart attack. She had had open heart surgery. And just a few days, weeks or so after that, she had a massive heart attack and he found her dead. And that really hit him hard, for they had been married probably right at 50 years, 40-some or something. And June started drinking. And they was 1, 2, 3. I think there's 4 pipe fitters. I know there's 4. There might have been 5, but I know there's 4. And 2 of them pipe fitters turned on him. And both of them was reformed hoodlums, drunks. But they'd found the Lord. Both of them was toting the Bible, you know. And they tried every way in the world to get that man far. And that just disgusted me to death. And I told both of them that. I said, You're doing June wrong. I said, you need to be helping him instead of trying to cause him to lose his job, for he's right at retirement age. But I'll never forget, I was there. We had a little storeroom window where we'd go get parts. You know, like if you needed bolts or something, you'd go to the storeroom, you'd fill out a card there, and they'd give you whatever you wanted. And I was up there getting something that I don't know what. And both them old fellers were loud mouths. One of them come up there to me, and he looked at that other, and he said, listen at that, talking down there. I said, I wouldn't let that in my church under no circumstances. His name's Tom. I said, yeah, he's pretty bad, Tom. I just want to get away from him. And I'll let him. Come back, get some more boats. Couldn't have been 15 minutes later. Well, his name is John. Here he come. And I swear we had the same conversation. Look at old Tom down there. I wouldn't let that near him. Both of them's dead, been dead for a long time. I never did forget the way they treated June. They'd get boss men and try to find his liquor and everything else. I mean, he wasn't a danger to nobody. He worked by himself. He mostly filled fire extinguishers up. And he did drink a little, I'm sure, because he was suffering so bad. To turn on somebody like that. And these guys had worked like 25 or 30 years together. It wasn't like they was new hires. That really showed me a lot about human nature right there. For June was a better man than both of them put together. He knowed how to kill a turkey. Thank you much. Bye.